All right, week 4 projections, wins, predictions, all that, whatever. I'm finna hit y'all off with them real quick. All right, so Thursday night, I got the Big D going in and beating up on the G spot. Because, I mean, listen, the deal with Dallas, man, is Dallas is a perpetual also for at least the last decade. Dallas has been a perpetual also ran. You know what I mean? Dallas is never nearly as good or nearly as bad as the national media makes them out to be. But you feel me? And to keep it a buck, I think that Jerry likes it just that way. They're just good enough to stay in the national consciousness. But you understand what I'm saying? They are always the bridesmaid, never the bride, due to their own whole tendencies. You know what I mean? It still should be more than enough to go in and beat the Nats, because I mean, it's the Nats. New York ain't going nowhere so long as Daniel Jones is the quarterback. So there you had that. Malik Neighbors, I'm praying for you, brother. Specifically, I'm praying that next year you'll be catching passes from Carson Beck or Cam Ward. So, yeah, there you have it. Dallas by 10. All right, so I got the Eagles in this next game because I'm an idiot and I don't know when to cut my losses and hang it up. But like I said, man, I feel like Jalen is going to get the turnover thing figured out. He's going to get the interception thing figured out, because if you watch the games, you feel me? If you watch the games, a lot of them some of them in the beginning of this year have been boneheaded decisions. Like I said, that pick last week wasn't really. Or if that's A.J. Brown on the other end of that pass, that's a touchdown 9 times out of 10. But, you know, it is what it is. That's his problem, is forcing the ball. And I mean, like I said before, you can't praise him for force feeding his best guys when it works and then crucify him when it don't work out. You understand what I'm saying? But hey, that's ESPN for you. And most of you Twitter armchair football scouts, by the way. But I think Jalen's going to get the turnover thing figured out, because this is 17 games in a row. It's got to stop at some point. On top of that, the Bucs pass rush is basically invisible. You feel me? The O-line is porous. You feel me? And that interior D-line of Philly act like they got something to prove. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis came on strong last week. So, yeah, I got the Eagles in this one. It all depends on how much. It all depends on if AJ plays. If AJ doesn't play, I got Philly by a touchdown. If AJ does play, they're going to blow him out the building. The Saints, I'm not really ready to call them fool's goal at this point, but this is why I keep telling y'all to stop making 16 and 17 game projections based on the first 2 weeks of the season. You understand what I'm saying? And I feel like Philly low-key kind of exposed a lot. I still feel like New Orleans is going to be, you feel me, a sneaky good team. I feel like their ceiling is a wild card team. You feel me, a 6 or a 7 seed. But I feel like their weaknesses got exposed by Philly on Sunday. Specifically, I don't know, they don't believe in throwing intermediate passes for some reason. I don't know what that's about. But that's pretty much how Philly stopped them, is, too high back deep and a bare front on the D-line. Bare front or 6-man front on the D-line, and basically dare them to throw, 15 and 10-yard passes. You understand what I'm saying? Which, I mean, they hit them when they throw them. They just didn't believe in doing it. I don't know. Maybe because they ain't had the ball that much. If they had the ball, maybe they would have figured it out. Whatever. As far as Derek Carr, and this is, listen, I'm going to tell you who Derek Carr is. Derek Carr, y'all ever mess with somebody who only ever wants to do doggy? You know what I mean? Only ever wants to do doggy, but they're really good at doing doggy. You feel me? Whether you top or bottom, you feel me, male or female, you understand, whichever way you swing, different strokes for different folks, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So you don't complain about it until you meet somebody else who's just as good at doggy, but they also are just that good at other stuff. That's Derek Carr. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, you can do better is what I'm saying. But also, you don't want to run the risk of going out there looking for something that might not be available. So you dig? That's the conundrum y'all find yourselves in, New Orleans. I feel like Atlanta, you feel me, they got something to prove, you feel me, after dropping the game to the GOAT. And yeah, I still got Atlanta winning this division. So Falcons by 3. All right, so I know what I said about, making projections based on the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season, but I feel like if anybody has proved me wrong about my preseason expectations for them, especially after JJ McCarthy went down, it's the Vikings, man. The Vikings, I don't know if I'm ready to call them, you know what, yeah, let's the Vikings are a sneaky contender. They are much better than I expected, and I don't know how long it's going to last, but I'ma ride it. Especially they're going to go play against a division rival. If Jordan Love does play, that's the thing, man, is he's coming fresh off of that injury. This is basically still, remember, I keep saying that the first few weeks of the season are basically preseason games that count. You feel me? That's why the phrase mid-season form exists. And Love has still got some, and you saw that in the first game. He wasn't as sharp as he was in the last 10 games of last year, which, I already said how I felt about that, crowning him without, actually really winning anything. But that's aside from the fact. Jordan Love is still a good quarterback, but he's going to have some preseason rust to knock off. And Minnesota ain't the team to do it against right now. That defense, man, I've always been a big Brian Flores fan. I personally feel like he got done dirty in Miami, just so that, they can get, the king of all geeks, you feel me, to run their offense for them. And we see how that turned out to be worth once, half of Tua's brain deactivated after getting hit in the head for like the 20th time. But yeah, there you had that. The Vikings, between that explosive offense, between that defense, the sky's the limit for this team. So long as Sam Darnold doesn't remember that he's Sam Darnold, the Vikings got it. So Minnesota by a touchdown. Chicago, man. Chicago is like the Dollar General Eagles, man. What I mean by that is, like, if you look at the box score, right? You look at the box score and you say, all right, they did pretty good. They trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? But when you actually watch the actual game, it's a bunch of miscues, a lot of miscommunication, bad game management, man. And Caleb, man, I still think, I'm not going to say, after watching Jaden play, you feel me, I don't know if I'm ready to say that he's going to be the best quarterback out of this class, but I still think he's going to be a Pro Bowl caliber pro once he gets it all figured out. Once he gets a head coach who knows what the F they doing, man. It's wild, because for as much heat as Sirianni gets, which deservedly so, you understand what I'm saying, for his game management blunders, Eberflus is right up there, man. I said last year that nigga needed to hit the bricks, you feel me? But that said, sometimes Caleb, he be back there and he look like a virgin with a condom sometimes back there. You understand what I'm saying? And Chicago is one of the teams that they got all the parts necessary to be a good team, to be a playoff team, in fact. But, they must have, they lost the instruction manual, or, the manual is in Swedish or something. They must have got it from IKEA. You know what I mean? But Yeah, and that on top of the fact that, the Rams coming off of that emotional game. Matthew Stafford, I've always said Matthew Stafford was Patrick Mahomes before there was a Patrick Mahomes, you feel me? But most of y'all ain't know about it because he was playing for the Lions when they were still a punchline, you feel me? So, yeah, I say all of that to say Rams by 7. All right, so the Panthers are still ass, you feel me? But they're just not so ass to the point of they're not a BBL with a blowout anymore. They're at least, you feel me, a natural ass. You feel me, with a little jiggle to it. You dig what I'm saying? And the thing is I know I keep saying, about the Bengals. We do this every year with the Bengals, and we go into panic mode about them, and then they find a way to figure it out. But this right here is the definition of a get-right game. You know what I mean? If you can't beat the Panthers, right? If Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins can't beat the Carolina Panthers, we need to have a different conversation about the Bengals. We need to have a different conversation about Joe Burrow. You feel me? So for that reason and that reason alone, because I think they're gonna pull it out. I don't think that conversation is going to be necessary. They're gonna pull it out. Bengals by 10. Yep. The Panthers need to put some bigger panties on. To tell you that though, don't nobody want to see all that. Well, or maybe you do. Maybe you are goned out like that. Well, whatever floats your boat, bruh, and or sis. All right, so I think we can officially anoint Anthony Richardson as Josh Allen 2.0. I think he has the potential to eventually get to. The thing is, man, is that it's either sink or swim with Anthony Richardson. Like that other, not even last week, but the week before, he can throw the ball like 65 yards downfield from his knees, but you understand what I'm saying? He also can't even hit the broadside of a barn when he's like 5 feet away from it, and that's his problem. And I mean, if there's anything that we know about a Mike Tomlin Steelers team, is that they're going to play defense. They're going to play good defense. They may not score a lot of points. And Justin Fields, man, what a redemption arc for him, man. It kind of low-key makes me a little worried about Caleb, considering the way that Justin is turning around in Pittsburgh. But yeah, man, Pittsburgh, they're going to, TJ Watt and them, he's going to eat on Sunday. Joey Porter Jr., listen, I wanted Joey when we drafted Nolan Smith. I'm still not happy about that pick, but I mean, I guess we wound up getting Quinyon in the end anyway, so it all worked out. But yeah, this, I think, is going to be a low-scoring affair. It's going to be a run-centered game. And, yeah, Steelers by 3. Y'all can be undefeated for one more week, Pittsburgh. I don't know who y'all play after that, but, yeah, y'all got it against Indy. Jets by 30. Again, I know what I keep saying about making, full season projections in September, but the Jaguars are done, man. Stick a fork in them, bruh. And, they cook like a Thanksgiving turkey. You feel me? Deep fried, smoked. You understand what I'm saying? With some orange glaze on the side, cranberry sauce and mashed potatoes. The real cranberry sauce, not that canned stuff. Look, man, Doug Peterson is a dead man walking at this point. Trevor Lawrence done turned into Brett Favre on the Jets. You know what I mean? And Trev, man, I feel personally offended by your play, Mr. Lawrence. I've been telling everybody, but since you've been drafted, I've been telling the whole world that you are what niggas think Justin Herbert is. But then you go out there, and I know it's not all your fault, but just for the sake of making me look like a fool. I am offended by your play, sir. You should be ashamed. You feel me? And as far as the Texans go, matter of fact, before I even get on to them, Jackson, I know, listen, Trayvon Walker he's a good player, but as the #1 overall pick, listen, I know y'all got to be kicking yourselves for taking that man over Hutch, right? Like I said, Jalen Carter is still my DPOY pick for the year when it's all said and done, but you know, that's the homer in me talking. And if I'm being completely objective, it's probably going to be Hutch, man. And aside from all of that, you know, you got the Texans. Like I said about the last game, this right here is the definition of a get-right game. You understand what I'm saying? Ain't no way if Josh Allen went out there and carved up that Jaguars secondary with, you feel me, a bunch of, you know, number 2s and number 3s, you know, at receiver. Ain't no way y'all gonna be able to match up against Diggs, Collins, and Tank. Plus you got Joe Misdemeanor back there as well. So yeah, Texans by 20. Niners by 50. All right, so if nothing else, this game is going to be hella fun, man. Listen, this might have been the hardest one for me to shake out when it was all said and done, but I think I'm gonna go with the no names for this one. And the reason why is because I keep trying to tell y'all about that nigga John Gannon. You understand what I'm saying? Look, the Cardinals, Gannon is supposed to be a former D-back, right? And a former defensive back coach, right? And the Cardinals through 3 weeks have 0 interceptions and 2 INTs, right? Xavier McKinney has 3 interceptions on the season by himself. Quinyon Mitchell, you feel me, has 4 pass breakups by himself through 3 games. And 2 of them should have been interceptions, to keep it a buck. And he's a rookie. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, Jaden proved this past week that he can actually throw the ball as well as run. And Terry McLaurin decided he want to be Terry McLaurin the week that I drop him from my fantasy team, old bum-ass nigga. But I digress. The Commanders, they're going to come out. Like I said, this is going to be a shootout either way, if you ask me. But don't hold my feet to the fire. You understand what I'm saying? But if I had a gun up to my head and I had to tell you who was going to win, you feel me? If you had a parlay, don't ask me, you feel me, to tell you how to deal on your parlay. You understand? Y'all niggas is gambling addicts anyway. You need some help. You feel me? That phone number pops up on every one of them DraftKings ads. You need to call it. But if you did have a gun up to my head, I'd tell you Commanders by 3 in a high scoring. This game is going to end in the high 20s, I'm predicting. So yeah, no names by 3. Chiefs by 30. So the thing about the Browns, man, is that they would be a good team. Matter of fact, they'd be a playoff. Matter of fact, they'd be a division crown contender with anybody else playing quarterback besides Deshaun Diddy back there. You understand what I'm saying? Hide your baby oil. You feel me? And more importantly, hide your children. You dig what I'm saying? Jokes aside, that nigga need to be locked up. He should have been, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. But that man is cooked, man. He is. You talk about. I feel whenever I watch the show, and I feel like I'm watching a nigga trying to justify his contract. Right? He's not playing within the structure of the offense. It's like he's chasing, you feel me, stats to try and prove that he still got it when you ain't, bruh. It just, hey, should have left them girls alone. You dig what I'm saying? Karma is a bitch, is it not? So yeah, there you have it. God don't like ugly. He also don't like sexual predators. But all of that aside, you know, if the Browns are going to make any type of real noise, you dig, they're going to have to rely on that run game. They're going to have to, you know what, they're going to have to play like it's 1980. You feel me? 3 yards in a cloud of dust, you dig? And coincidentally enough, that's just how Vegas plays, you dig? Or at least that's how they win games, you know what I mean? And, you know, I still believe in Antonio Pierce. You feel me? I believe in that backfield. I think that Alexander Madison is a sneaky good. He at the very least, you know, he is the thunder and your thunder and lightning backfield. You dig what I'm saying? Anywhere 10 yards out from the goal line, I'm handing the ball off to Sexy Lexi. So yeah, there you have it. I'm gonna take Vegas by a field goal. All right, so I've already had a handful of Browns fans bitching in my comments about what I said about Josh Allen. And listen, I'll tell y'all like this: if Josh, my critique still stands. I don't feel like the Bills have played anybody worth writing home about just yet. But I'll tell you like this: if Josh, and I mean, the thing is you can only play who's on the schedule, right? They said the same thing about Philly, you know, in the 22 season. Oh, well, who did they play? And look who wound up in the Super Bowl. So I'll give y'all this: if Josh can come out in prime time and beat the Ravens, you dig what I'm saying? I later, for the record, I don't care what the record says. Like I said, this is basically, you feel me, exhibition games that mean something at this point. The Ravens are still my favorites to win that division. If Josh Allen beats the Ravens, he will be my pick for MVP unequivocally. The problem is he not going to do it. And the reason he not going to do it is because Lamar is pissed. Did y'all see that, John, where Lamar was clowning Marlon? You feel me? Marlon Humphrey was on the plane trying to, you feel me, celebrate the win or whatever had happened, and Lamar was clowning him for dropping them interceptions.
Lamar, talk to us a little bit about getting that first. Talk to us a little bit. You know, the flock, they got to hear from you. You know what I mean? They got to hear from you.
Got the dub. Keep stacking. We shouldn't even be live right now. Like, we need to get right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you gonna walk in Texas? You straight though? How you feeling?
You got a lot of drip on, low key.
How you feeling, man?
No, that's.
How you feeling, bro? You straight?
Good.
I was at 2 minutes.
You dropped that pick too.
It was a flag anyway, though.
I don't care. But remember how they made it post? Oh, Marlon picked up Lamar 4 times, and then you get in the game and you dropped him. That's why I was throwing him in practice.
Bro, he took it out of my hands. See, he literally, like, low key. Either way, it was a flag.
I don't care. We don't. They probably would have had me.
I didn't squeeze it. You didn't squeeze it? I didn't squeeze it.
Y'all squeeze it, Marlo.
Y'all boy solid. I rock with y'all too.
He see they record. You feel me? Listen, when football players and coaches talk about, oh, well, we don't got no bulletin board material. We don't pay attention to the media. We don't watch ESPN. We don't listen to Stephen A. and all them bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? They hear what's being said about them. Lamar hears what's being said about him. You understand what I'm saying? I think they got a chip on their shoulder. I think that they have a much needed chip on their shoulder. You understand what I'm saying? They want to prove the doubters wrong. You dig what I'm saying? And the thing is like I said, Baltimore is not a Miami team that, you understand what I'm saying, that they're not a Miami team that don't know how to play any other game but two-hand touch. You understand what I'm saying? They're not coached by Jonathan Gannon. You understand? And they are not a Jaguars team that is, you know, full of a bunch of dudes who are just kind of waiting for the season to be over with already. You dig? Baltimore is motivated. Baltimore is talented. You dig? Baltimore still has the ageless wonder and King Henry in the backfield. Listen, Lamar is still the reigning MVP, 2-time MVP. You understand what I'm saying? So all of that, I feel like Baltimore is going to come out. They're going to prove some doubters wrong. I do believe it's going to be a close game. I believe it's going to be a good game. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, the Josh Allen hype train, it takes a pit stop, you feel me, in Baltimore on next Monday night. So Baltimore by, I say a field goal. Baltimore by 3. All right, so before I even talk about these next 2 games, man, let me just say how freaking head ass it is to have 2 concurrent Monday night games, especially when Raw is on at the same time. Like, what dumb diddity dum decided that this was a good idea? Oh yeah, let's put in it. And at least back in the day, because when they did it a year or 2 ago, at least you would have an East Coast game and a West Coast game that I could go to sleep for anyway, because I ain't staying up to no 1 o'clock in the morning to watch no football game unless it's the Super Bowl. But anyway, aside from all of that, who decided to book this game even before we knew that Tua's brain was going to explode? Who decided to book, the Dolphins against the Titans, man? Like, it was going to be, it's basically like saying, oh yeah, what we should do, Raj? We should basically live stream a murder on national TV. You dig? And now again, well, I guess the one good thing to come out of all of this is that now you dumb mofos have to finally admit that Tua can ball. You understand what I'm saying? He may not, ever be any of your faves. He may not ever be Josh Allen. He may not ever be Lamar, but the boy can ball. You understand? So shut up with all that dumb head assery now. But regardless, I'm only reason why I am going to watch this game is because Achane is my RB2 in my fantasy, and my new strategy as far as defenses goes is that I just pick up whoever is playing the Titans that week until they prove that they're not worth that kind of strategy. So yeah, for fantasy reasons and fantasy reasons alone, I'll be kind of sort of keeping an eye on this game. But, Dolphins by whatever, nigga. All right, so we'll wrap up with, obviously, the last game of the week, or at least the latest starting game of the week. Because, again, some dumb nigga decided to book 2 Monday night games at the same time. But the thing about Seattle, man, I think that as much as, I think it's kind of low-key hypocritical, you understand what I'm saying, that everybody wants to crown the Bills, you understand what I'm saying, everybody wants to crown them, right, when, like I said before, I can't really say that about Minnesota because people are talking about Minnesota, but nobody's talking about the Seahawks, you understand, and last time I checked, they were not only leading their division, but they're 3-0. You understand what I'm saying? And the reason why it's simple is because they don't have Josh Allen. You understand what I'm saying? They don't have, you understand what I'm saying, a slurpable, you understand what I'm saying, a gawk-worthy quarterback. That's the only reason why we don't talk about the Seahawks the way that we talk about the Bills. But the reason why I brought up the Bills is because just like with the Bills, my thing with Seattle is, again, who have y'all played? You understand what I'm saying? Y'all beat Bo Nix in his first career start, and barely at that. You needed OT to beat a Patriots team that's, it's the post-Belichick Patriots. What do you want? You understand what I'm saying? And then you beat up on a Tua-less Dolphins team. So again, I color me not impressed, at least not impressed enough to say that y'all going to, you feel me, beat the Lions, who have, if you ask me, and I said this before and I'm still sticking with this, the Lions are my pick to, at at least represent the NFC in the Super Bowl this year. Reason why is because y'all know how I feel about the trenches. Y'all got the best O and D line in the league. Don't at me about that. Yes, they do. You understand what I'm saying? Hutch by himself is enough to do that. Y'all got one of the best running back duos in the league. You understand? That's the definition of lightning and thunder right there between Montgomery and Gibbs. Y'all throwing to a nigga named Sun God. You understand what I'm saying? So how can you lose when you're throwing passes to God? Then on top of that, it looked like y'all fixed the one real weakness that y'all had last year. You feel me? In the secondary with Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. And Brian Branch was another one that I would, but hey, again, I guess it all worked out. But whatever. My point is, I got the Lions by 10 in this game for all of them reasons that I just listed off. And yeah, there you have it. All right, so that's my week 4 predictions and projections. You know, if you like it, you know, kudos to me, I guess. If you don't like it, sucks for you, nigga. But yeah, week 4, football's back, baby. I guess, whatever.